Do we start? So we start with the chanting of the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva 3 times. Take a deep breath in. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I believe everybody is prepared today to share, because Ramayana is very well known. It's more known than the Bhagavatam, right? The whole incident, we should not say story, the history of Ramayana is more known to people, common people, than the Bhagavatam. Here in Hong Kong, not only in Hong Kong, but even in India also, we come across people, they do not know the difference between Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So that, kind of is a proof that people, they don't know much about Bhagavatam. So Ramayana, yes. So two Ramayanas, right? One is sexual Ramayana, to Valmiki Ramayana. Other one is called Ramcharitmanas. So Ramcharitmanas was kind of written as a history of the incidents, and Valmiki Ramayana was written when the Leela was still going on. Who was Valmiki in his previous life? How he became a great sage that he could write a great scripture like Ramayana. That's the first scripture written in the poetry form. That's why in Hindi it says Mahakavya. Kavya means anything written in the poetry form. So who was in his previous, not previous life, before he became Valmiki, the sage? Huh?
He was a thief.
He was a thief, dacoit, and he used to kill people. He used to rob people and kill. And killing also he used to do such a way that won't completely kill them, half kill. Because he would enjoy people suffering when they were about to die. And people would say, Mara, 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 I'm going to die, I'm going to die. So when Narada Muni met him, Narada Muni is the one who made him as a great sage. This is the benefit of, when we are really fortunate, Agyata Sukruti helps us, that we come across any elevated soul, and that soul can change our life. That saintly person can change our life. So Valmiki was a great dacoit, Daku. So when he met Narada Muni, so he wanted to harm Narada Muni also. So Narada Muni asked him, why are you doing all these things? He said, yeah, that's my livelihood. That's a profession I know. That's the only profession I know. So Narada Muni asked him, who are you doing this for? He said, of course, for my family members. So he said that though you are committing so many sins, the activities which you're doing, they are very sinful, and you will have to pay for it. And you alone will have to pay for it. Your family members will not support you. He said, why not? I'm doing this for them. Narada Muni said, no, nobody will support you. Your karma, you have to bear. The fruits of your karma, you have to undergo. So he said, no, I don't believe you. So Narada Muni said, I will wait for you here. You go home and check with them. So he tied Narada Muni with the trunk of a tree. He went home. First he asked his wife that you are my life partner and I'm doing this for our family. So when I have to pay for my sins, will you take some, will you share some? She said, why should I do that? I never asked you to choose this profession. That was up to you. That's your decision. Your duty is to provide for us. Now, in what way you provide, how you provide, that's up to you. So if you're doing sinful activities, you have to bear the fruits. So he was very disappointed. Then he asked his parents. His parents also gave him the same answer. Then he asked his children. They also said the same thing. He was very disappointed because he never expected. He thought his family members will take some share if he had to suffer. Then he came back to that place where he had tied Narada Muni with the tree. He fell at his feet. Then he asked him, now how can I be freed from the reaction of my sinful activities? So many people I've killed. So Narada Muni told him that you chant the name of Lord Ram. Ram, Ram, Ram. He said it's difficult for me to chant in that way because it's easier for me to say Mara, 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 because I've heard that constantly. So when he started chanting Mara, 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 it became Ram, Ram, Ram. Though it was done in the opposite way, but it became Ram, Ram, Ram. And his consciousness became purified. Then Narada Muni blessed him to write this great epic, Ramayan. Now, very few points I have in mind. And of course, if you have anything to discuss, please bring that up. No, Ramayan was still going on. Lord Ram was still there. That's the reason when Lord Ramachandra forsake his wife, Mother Sita, when washerman objected, how could he allow, how could he accept her after she stayed at another person's uh, territory? So then Lord Ramachandra sent her to the forest and she stayed in the ashram of Valmiki. Yeah. So he was there. So a few points I had in mind to discuss. What is the reason? What was the reason that Lord Ramachandra appeared? Why did he appear? Any reason which comes in your mind? Sorry? Yeah. Of course, see, he from by his leelas, he teaches us a lot. Many lessons we can learn from his activities. Any form of Lord Vishnu, we can learn a lot. But there are specific reasons mentioned. One is, very well known reason is that because he had to kill Ravana and Kumbhakarna, two brothers. These demons, they created so much of problem in the whole universe. So the demigods, they went and prayed to Lord Vishnu at the shore of ocean of milk. And then Lord Vishnu, that Akashvani came, he inspired Lord Brahma to give the message to the demigods that he will appear to kill Ravana and Kumbhakarna. So one is that's very well known reason. There is a hidden reason that some of you may know. Lord Vishnu was cursed by Narada Muni. Can you imagine?
Yeah, because of that, he made a monkey face, no? When he went to the wedding. He was cursed for that.
Yes, yes. So the incident is, Narada Muni once he went to a very beautiful garden at Kailash mountain. He sat under a banyan tree. He was meditating in his sitting in the lotus pose. So Indra got a bit scared. Indra really gets scared. Normally, we think that fear factor is only on the earth planet. Demigods also, they become very fearful. What to speak of other demigods? The king of demigods, Indra, he gets scared very easily. He thought, Narada Muni will take away his position. So he sent Cupid and Rati, Cupid's wife, to disturb Narada Muni's meditation. So when they went there, they tried so many different ways to disturb Narada Muni. Narada Muni did not pay any attention to them. He was focused on his meditation, samadhi. So Cupid surrendered. He fell at Narada Muni's feet and put garland around Narada Muni's neck that, you have defeated me today. Same like Lord Shiva did to me. So Narada Muni felt a bit proud of himself. So then he went to Kailash mountain at the top to give this news to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, when he saw, Lord Shiva immediately understood, now, because Narada Muni is younger brother. Normally, when any guest comes, any relative comes, we go forward at the entrance to welcome them, right? So Lord Shiva also did the same thing. One is that because he was his younger brother. The other example analogy is given when any patient goes to any clinic, the doctor, out of just good gesture, he gets up and receives the patient into his clinic. So Lord Shiva also thought, now the sick man is coming to see me. He's affected by that, pride. So now I have to cure him. So because of that reason, Lord Shiva went down all the way to bring him up. So then Narada Muni told him that I want to share one good news with you. Lord Shiva said, yes, okay, you tell me. So Narada Muni told him that, I also defeated Cupid like you did. So I'm also like you. Lord Shiva said, I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy to hear that. But please don't tell this to anybody else. So Narada Muni told him yes. Then he went down. On the way, he thought, why did Lord Shiva stop me from telling anybody else? Maybe because he's concerned about his own credit. Because his own credit will go down if other people will come to know that I'm also like Lord Shiva. So then he went to Brahmaloka, his father's place. And he went and told him also the same thing. So Brahma also felt very happy, admired him, praised him, and told him that he was very proud of him. Then Brahma told him that, Lord Brahma told him, please don't tell ever this to Lord Vishnu, Narayan. So to him also, Narada Muni initially said, okay, I won't tell. But then when he left Brahmaloka, then he said, why shouldn't I tell Lord Vishnu? He's my Lord, my master. So I should make him feel happy also. When the servants achieves some good things, then the master also feels proud. So he went to Vaikuntha planet. There Narayan was lying down and Mother Lakshmi was massaging his feet. Now let me see how many of you remember. What's the meaning of Narayan? Why one of the names of Lord Vishnu is Narayan? In one of the sessions we discussed this. This was, sorry? Huh?
Nar is like a human being?
No, 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 no. Yes. One word in Hindi for water is neer, right? Neer. N-E-R or N-I-R, neer. N-E-R is more appropriate, neer. So any liquid is called like neer. So ayana means to lie down on that. Like we say shayana, shayan kaksh, bedroom. So why is it called shayan kaksh? Where we lie down like a dead body, like a corpse, like shav. Shav means dead body, right? We are half dead if we have good sleep. We are fortunate enough to be half dead. Many people, they have difficulty in falling asleep, right? So they are, most of the time they are awake and alive. So that's why it's called shayana kaksh, where we just lie down and we are like a corpse. So the person who lies down on the liquid, that is Narayan. So he lies down on the ocean of milk. So when Narada Muni went there, he offered nice prayers, glorified Lord Vishnu. Then Lord Vishnu opened his eyes and asked him that I'm always pleased with you. Please tell me what can I do for you. So Narada Muni told him that I want to share very good news with you. Then he told him the same thing. So Lord Vishnu was very pleased. He said, I'm very happy, very proud of you. You are my best devotee. So after that, when Narada Muni left, so he was going around, in the space. So then he looked down and he saw a very beautiful place, a township. Before he never saw that. He passed by that area many times, but before he did not see that. So when he saw that, he went down and he was very much impressed by the architectural designs of all the houses, and people also were very beautiful there. But everybody was walking in one direction. So that he could not understand why everybody is walking in one direction. So he stopped one man, asked him why everybody is walking in one direction. So the man asked him, don't you know that today is our princess's Swayamvar, Rajkumari's Swayamvar ceremony, and the king has invited everybody there. So you also should go there, and king will give you so much in charity that you won't have to beg for the rest of your life. So Narada Muni also went there. So when the king heard, so he went in front and welcomed Narada Muni and told him that today is my daughter's wedding ceremony. So you look like very potent saint. So you know about the past, present, future. Trikal Darshi. So can you read my daughter's future and tell us something about her? Narada Muni said, yes, okay. So when they went to that chamber where the women were sitting, so behind the curtain, king's daughter, young daughter was there. So she extended her hand. So when Narada Muni read the lines of on her palm, then he told the king that whoever gets married to her, that person will become the owner of the three worlds. So the king said, it's a good news, then why don't you stay for the whole ceremony? You bless the couple, and after that I will give you so much gold in charity, whatever you want. So Narada Muni went there to the venue where the Swayamvar was going to take place. So when he was walking there, then he thought, why shouldn't I get married to this young girl and become the master of the three worlds? So then he said, in this attire, a young girl won't be attracted. I mean, I won't be looking attractive to her. She won't be attracted towards me. Then he went to Vaikuntha planet, went to Lord Vishnu and told him, that I have one desire. Lord Vishnu said, some time ago you came and you said you defeated Cupid, Kamadev. You don't have any calm, any desire. Now what happened? He said, only one desire, that I want to get married. Lord Vishnu asked him, oh, you want to get married? He said, yes. So I don't look like, that young girl would be attracted to me. Or I would be looking attracted to her. So make me look so handsome, that she immediately sees me and, forgets about everybody else who is present there. Then she chooses to get married to me. Please do whatever good for me. Or you have always done whatever is good for me. So please do this time also. So Lord Vishnu said, okay, whatever is good for you, I will do it. When he left, so when he arrived at that venue, everybody was looking at him. So he thought he was looking so handsome that everybody was looking at him. He went and he sat in front of all the young princes sitting there. So when that young princess, right, she came and with a garland in her hand, she didn't even look at him. She walked by and then passed by and then went and put garland around one young prince. So when Narada Muni saw that, he became so disappointed, so frustrated, so sad. And because of all these mixed negative emotions, his mouth and throat became very dry. So he wanted to drink some water. So without saying anything, he just left that place, went to a river. When he bent down to drink water, he saw his reflection in the water. He was looking like a monkey. He got so angry at Lord Vishnu. Immediately took some water in his hand. He chanted the mantras. Then he said, that you separated me from my would-be wife. So you will have to suffer the separation from your wife. And you made me look like a monkey. Those monkeys only will come and help you to find your wife. So after that, when he threw that water, when he turned, he saw that young prince and princess were there. That princess became queen. The parents also were there, king and queen. Then Narada Muni was surprised. What happened? The king said, that you left the venue without blessing the couple. So we were looking for you. Somebody informed us that you came to the river. So that's why we came here. So Narada Muni still could not control his emotions. Then that king and queen also disappeared. Only young future king and the queen were there. The couple who got married. Narada Muni was surprised. What happened? So he asked, what is happening? He asked the young king. Then they turned into Vishnu and Lakshmi. So Narada Muni asked him, what is happening? Then Lord Vishnu told him, do you remember what you told me to do? Whatever is good for you, I should do it for you. So this is what is good for you. I do not want a devotee like you to get married and get entangled in the materialistic activities. If a devotee like you becomes entangled in the material activities, who will preach to people? Who will bring my separated children back to me? Who can be the bridge between the separated children of me, who I want them to come back to the Vaikuntha? So you are the main medium. So how can you allow you to get married and get lost into this kind of materialistic activities? Narada Muni, he mixed emotions. And he said, nobody can find a well-wisher like you. He fell at Lord Vishnu's feet, then told him that, please forgive me that I cursed you. Lord Vishnu said, don't worry, that is already arranged. I'll come. Then this also I will include in my Leela, what you cursed. So then Narada Muni told him that, you just promise me, give him one promise. Lord Vishnu joked with him, provided you don't ask me that you want to get married again. Narada Muni said, yes, but you promise me that whatever form you take, whatever avatar you come into, that form should be called Ram. And that name should surpass the names of all other incarnations. Lord Vishnu said, so be it, tathastu. And it happened. Like Lord Ram's name is commonly kind of called by people, right? If anything happens, we say, hey Ram, or Jai Shri Ram. Wishing kind of name is Lord Ram's name. And whenever, after funeral also, people they say, Ram Nam Satya, right? They don't say Krishna Nam Satya. So this is Lord Vishnu's promise to Narada Muni. Now here, I think you might have heard this kind of messages. They were very viral on social media. Why did Lord Ramachandra go to the forest for 14 years? Why did Kaikai send Lord Ramachandra to forest? Have you heard this message? Have you read this message? Anyone? The reason? Huh?
You told us about it because people are connecting it with Krishna's 14 years or something. Yeah. You told us about it in the
Yeah.
Bhagavatam class.
Yeah. So that is not correct.
It's not true.
It's not correct.
There's no connection.
No connection. Nowhere in the Bhagavatam is mentioned, that Kaushalya was Devaki and Yashoda was no, Yashoda was the Devaki and Kaushalya was Keikei. Nowhere it is mentioned like that. So people they come up with these kind of mental speculation. So we need to be very careful about this. Why Narada Muni chose the name Ram? The meaning of Ram, two ways meaning. One is the person who loves everybody. And another meaning of Ram is the person who is loved by everybody. Who is lovable and who is loving, caring. So that kind of incarnation, because if you see the incarnations before Lord Ramachandra, immediate incarnation before Lord Ramachandra was Parshuram. So he was like a warrior. He was killing people. So Kshatriyas were very scared, very fearful of him. So there was no love and affection towards Parshuram. And before that was Vamanadev. Right? So for Vamanadev also, yes, he was a very small, good looking Brahmana boy. So people initially were attracted to him. But when when he became a gigantic, huge form, then the first person who was against him was Bali Maharaj's sister, who became Putana in Krishna Leela. So Narada Muni wanted some form, some incarnation, who not only is caring and loving, affectionate towards others, but others also reciprocate in the same way to him. So that's the meaning of Lord Ramachandra. So that's the reason Narada Muni chose the word Ram. Krishna also means all attractive, who attracts everybody. But in Krishna Leela also we see, that many people did not like him. Even his cousins also did not like him. Shishupal was inimical towards Krishna, though he was all attractive. But Ram was very pleasing. And it is said, in the whole Leela of Lord Ramachandra, he did not laugh wholeheartedly. Always he used to smile. Whatever the situation may be, he would always be smiling. He had a beautiful smile. The particular word in Ramcharitmanas for his smile is Saloni. His muskan was very Saloni. So people would get captivated by his smile. And it is said that Krishna never cried wholeheartedly. But there were specific incidents in both Leelas, Ram Leela and Krishna Leela. In Ram Leela's case, when Lord Ramachandra laughed wholeheartedly, and Krishna also cried a lot one time. So, very briefly, I will touch that topic, mainly about Lord Ramachandra. When Lord Ramachandra had to cross the Ganges river, we spoke about this at your place if you remember. There was one boatman to help them to cross the river. Now, actually, in those days, at the bank of the Ganges, so many boatmen would be there. Whole community would be there. But on that day, when Lord Ramachandra, Mother Sita, and Lakshman arrived, only one boatman was there, and his name was Kevat. So the reason it is said, why there was only one boatman, because when Kevat came to know, a day before that, next day, Lord Ramachandra was visiting that spot and he had to cross the river. So he went to the head of the community, Sarpanch. Now, what had happened that one day, that head of the community, he was in the forest, he was attacked by a lion. So Kevat was the one who saved his life. So that head of the community asked Kevat for a boon, just ask me what you want, what favor. Kevat said, when the time is right, I will ask you. So that evening before, Kevat went to him and told him, do you remember that promise you made? The head of the community said, yes. His name was Guhu. So then he said, oh, what do you want? He said, I want a favor. You announce that all the boatmen, they should remove their boats from the bank of the Ganges. Tomorrow, nobody should have the boats at the bank of the Ganges. Only I should be there. So Guhu asked him why. He said, now you did not, I did not promise you that I will tell you the reason. You fulfill your promise. That's it. So Guhu said, okay. So next day, because of that, there was only one boatman. So we know that, incident that Kevat asked him to wash his feet. What was the reason he asked him to wash his feet? Why Kevat insists that Lord Ramachandra should allow him to wash his feet before he allows him to board the boat?
Was that before that he went and his feet on one stone, no, and become earlier. So he was scared if his boat turns home.
The incident of sage Gautam and his wife Ahalya. The background is Ahalya was very beautiful, so beautiful that even a demigods also would be attracted towards her. So Lord Indra was attracted, seeing her beauty. So what he did, Lord Indra and Chandra, they came together. So Lord Indra took the form of sage Gautam because he knew at certain time sage Gautam goes to take the bath in the river before he starts his morning sandhya, morning puja. And that also, what they call it, the rooster, right, makes the sound in the morning. So people would wake up. So Lord Indra told Chandra to make that sound. But before the actual time, before 3 a.m., before the Brahma Muhurta starts. So Chandra did that. And then Gautam saw, it's early morning now, I have to get up and I have to go and take bath and then do my sandhya, Gayatri. So he went. So behind his back, Lord Indra came in the form of Gautam. So Ahalya was surprised. She asked him, you just went and today you finished so fast? He said, yeah. So when there was some illicit relationship between them, at that time Gautam Rishi came. So he became so angry at Ahalya that how could you do that? He cursed Indra also. That's a very funny part. Like later, when it comes in Bhagavatam, I'll tell you. So he cursed Indra also, but then he cursed Ahalya to become a rock, not anything else. Become a rock. Can anyone guess why he would curse her like that? Why not something else? Not any animal, not any bird, not any reptile, a rock. Sorry? not that specific reason, because Ahalya told him that Lord Indra, he looks same like you. There was no difference at all. So how could I find out? So Sage Gautam said that women, they are more sensitive than men. Didn't you feel any strange when he touched you? Sense of touch for women is more sensitive than men's sense of touch. So that means you are so insensitive. So you become so insensitive that you don't care any kind of climatic changes or anything. You become a rock. It won't make any difference to you what happens around you. You become insensitive. But then he said, because you are regretting, you're repenting now, Lord Ramachandra will come. And when the dust particle from his foot touches you, then you will come to the original form. You will get your original form. So when Lord Ramachandra had gone with Vishwamitra, when Vishwamitra had gone to Ayodhya to ask Dashrath to give his two sons to protect the Havans, Yagnas, because the demons, they were disturbing them. So Vishwamitra took him to the Gautam Rishi's ashram and he told him the whole thing. Now Lord Ramachandra, one of his names is Maryada Purushottam. Right? What to speak of after marriage? But even before marriage also, he never touched any other woman except his mother and stepmothers. He never touched any woman. Even his dasi also. So many dasis they had. Maryada Purushottam. So then he was thinking that how can I, because Gautam Rishi had told his wife that when Lord Ramachandra touches, the dust particle touches. So then Lord Ramachandra, prayed to the wind god, Pavan Dev. Now you have to come and help me. So that my vrat, my vow, Ek Patni Vrat, doesn't break. He said, I will raise my foot a little bit and you come and you blow the dust from my soles of my feet. And that it touches the rock, will become holy. And it happened like that. Lord Ramachandra never touched the rock. Many times, some preachers also, they say, he touched. He never touched the rock. So much kind of, very careful, very mindful. That's why he is known as Maryada Purushottam. He never crossed his boundaries, never crossed his limits. So there are so many similarities and so many contradictories also between Lord Ramachandra and Krishna. For Krishna, it is said, he never cared about any boundaries. He broke all the boundaries. Right? So, coming back to that keyword. So Kevat told him that, I heard that when the dust particle from your foot touched a rock, it turned into a woman. Now my boat is made of a wood. What will happen to it? If that also turns into a woman, then my livelihood, source of my livelihood will be gone. And I'm already married. It's so difficult to handle one woman at home. Right? So see the way, humorous way Kevat had conversation with Lord Ramachandra, slowly was opening up. He was trying to laugh, what this guy is saying. And that also he was telling in front of Mother Sita, it's so difficult to handle one woman at home. So Lord Ramachandra said, okay, you can do that. Lakshman objected. He said, great sages, great yogis, they have that desire to touch my brother's feet, who is Narayan himself. And this simple, from low community man, how can he do that? So Lord Lakshman said, I won't allow. Kevat said, okay, then you stand here. Nobody is going to take you to the other side of the Ganges. And I know very well that your brother doesn't know how to swim. Lakshman got a bit upset. How can you say that? This is our personal, it's private thing. How can you say that he doesn't know how to swim? This one I will tell you in Hindi. It's very interesting to hear in Hindi. Kevat said, मुझे पता है आपके भैया को, भ्राता को तैरना नहीं आता है. वो लोगों को तारना जानते हैं, तैरना नहीं जानते हैं. That means he can help other people to cross the ocean of material creation, but he himself cannot cross. He himself cannot swim. So then Lord Ramachandra pacified Lakshman. He said, okay, let him do whatever he wants to do, because we need to cross the river. So Kevat asked his wife to get a plate from their house, from the kitchen, a plate made of wood, wooden plate. Now, in those days, of course, they were poor. They could not have silver plate or golden plate, but they could have iron plate or copper plate. But he did not ask her to bring those. He told her to get wooden plate. Now, this also very nice explanation is given by the devotees. Why did he ask for a wooden plate? Now, see, Kevat was not so educated materially, academically. He was not so educated, but his consciousness was very, very refined, because he thought, after I wash Lord Ramachandra's feet, the Charnamrit what I get, I have to distribute to everybody, all the community members, right? So if I use any metal plate, everything will be gone today itself. But if I use a wooden plate, wood has the quality of absorbing the water, right? So in that wooden plate, if my wife makes the dough for chapati every day I will get a Charnamrit, not only today. That was his intelligence. Now see, she brought the plate was small. Lord Ramachandra could not put his both feet at the same time. He had to put only one foot. So he put one foot. So Kevat washed his foot. So Lord Ramachandra put that foot on the ground and he put the other foot. So Kevat said, now the other foot has so many dust particles because it was wet. So I had to wash it again. So it went on and on. So Lakshman was getting very impatient. So when Lord Ramachandra saw that, he looked at Lakshman, he laughed. And he looked at Mother Sita, he laughed even louder. Because he was reminding Lakshman, Sri Lakshman, telling him, do you remember who this guy is? Who was in his previous life? Lakshman said no. He said in his previous life he was a tortoise. This Kevat was a tortoise. And he was trying to, because Anantashish, Lakshman, on that Narayan was lying, right? So the tortoise were trying to climb up on the body of the Anantashish to touch the feet of Lord Narayan. And Anantashish did not want him to touch Narayan's feet. So he was biting him again and again, many times. So because of the poison, Kevat died. So then Lord Narayan was reminding Lakshman, see, at that time you killed him. Now in front of you is washing my feet, and you cannot do anything to him. Then he told, he was giving message to Mother Sita, your father, King Janak, he washed only my left big toe at the time of wedding. And he gave you in wedding to me. He's not going to give anything to me. What to speak of only big toe, he's washing my both feet in front of you, and you cannot stop him. So this is the incident. It said Lord Ramachandra laughed wholeheartedly. Otherwise, whole of his life, during his life, the whole Leelas, he never laughed, only smiling. So, fast forward a little bit. So anyway, after he washed his feet, he distributed the Charnamrita to everyone. Then Kevat said that I have heard that, your guru, Vasishtha, he taught you Karma Kanda also, because that was also part of your syllabus. Lord Ramachandra said, of course, we learned all that. So he said, now I want you to do the Tarpan for my ancestors. Now using that Charnamrita and Ganga water, he asked Lord Ramachandra to do Tarpan. Now you see, imagine, the Lord of the three worlds doing Tarpan for his ancestors. What will happen to his ancestors? Everybody got liberated. So he not only benefited Kevat, not only extended benefits to the people present there, but his ancestors also. So now when they boarded the boat, so when they just went halfway in the middle of the Ganges, Kevat turned the boat. So Lakshman was looking at Lord Ramachandra, what happened? Lord Ramachandra said, maybe he forgot something, he want to pick up something. But when they came back to the original bank, again Kevat turned the boat. So Lakshman was losing his patience. So he asked Kevat, what are you doing? Then Kevat asked them, your stepmother Keikei told you to be outside of your ruling territory for 14 years. She did not specifically tell you that on this particular tithi you should be at this spot, right? It's not like that. But Lakshman said no. He said, what if the balance period of your 14 years exile, You just spend in the Ganges only. I will just take you round and round here. You have a tour, Ganga tour here. So Lord Ramachandra told him, you're taking us round and round, I'm feeling a bit dizzy. So Kevat told him that only just few rounds, after few rounds you're feeling dizzy. Can you imagine the living beings, you make them go round and round for 8.4 million lifetime. What happens to them? How much dizziness you're causing them? So there also Lord Ramachandra was laughing. Before that also, very interesting incident. When he was washing his Lord Ramachandra's feet one by one, so it happened few times. So Lord Ramachandra told him, just do it fast. So Kevat said, no, you have to manage because I have only one plate, small plate. So Lord Ramachandra told him, I'm losing balance. Again and again, you are making me stand on one foot, I'm losing balance. So Kevat told him, you're afraid of falling, losing balance. You put your hand on my head, then you won't lose balance. Got direct blessings from Lord Ramachandra. So many times, it is said, that what in English they say, don't judge a book by its cover, right? So he was not academically so qualified, but spiritually he was very well qualified. His consciousness was very, very refined. So when they came on the other side of the Ganges, so Lord Ramachandra just looked at Mother Sita. Mother Sita immediately got the message. She took out the ring with word Ram written on that. The Lord Ramachandra was not wearing any ornaments because he had to follow to live in the forest as a mendicant. So he was not allowed to wear any ornaments. So Mother Sita gave to Lord Ramachandra, Lord Ramachandra was giving. So Kevat asked him for what? He said, this is your kind of what they call it, the fair, right? You help us to cross the Ganges. Then Kevat said that he said, I'm not so well versed with the scriptures, Vedas, but this much I know, that people of same profession, they cannot charge each other. So Lakshman got really angry. He asked him, my brother is a prince, going to be a king. How can you compare your profession with his profession? So Kevat looked at Lord Ramachandra, then told Lakshman, after looking at Lord Ramachandra, he said, because your brother does the same thing what I'm doing. I am just helping people to cross the river, and your brother is helping people to cross the ocean of material creation. So by profession, we are the same. So how can I charge him? So Lord Ramachandra said, you have to accept it. So at that time, Kevat said, no. Now this one, you keep this as an advance fare from my side. That because when I come to the other side of the material creation, the ocean of material creation, I won't be qualified to cross over. And I won't have anything to give you as a fare. So just keep this as a fare and help me to cross over. So this was Kevat. So the reason we brought this up about going to exile and Kaikai sent him there. Actually, Kaikai also was not a bad person. She loved Lord Ramachandra more than his own mother. And she was so happy when she heard that coronation ceremony was going to take place for Lord Ramachandra. She was so happy. Actually, the maid servants and others told Kaikai, that why don't you wait for Bharat and Shatrughan to come back, your real son, so that he also witnesses. She said, I don't want to wait for him. For me, Lord Ramachandra is my son. But then Mantra created all the problems. Right? The meaning of Ayodhya is the place where there is no fight, no quarrel. Yudh. And we add as a prefix, Ayudh. That means there is no war, there is no yudh. And people also are very friendly, very loving, affectionate towards each other. Mantra was from outside. She was not from Ayodhya. So the lesson, it is learned that many times it happens. There may be so much of harmony amongst the family members, but when some outsider comes, then the problems start. So we have to be very careful. Instead of believing and listening to outsiders, we have to be very careful. So yeah, so coming back to this part. Now, why did Kaikai ask for these two boons? Two Vardhan from Dashrath. Okay, first place is, why did Dashrath promise her like that?
Because at one point she saved his life, the figure, right?
Yeah, in the chariot.
Yeah, she saved his life, that's why.
Yes. So see, from this also we can understand, many times our scriptures are so much kind of misinterpreted, and so much of miscommunication, misinformation is given in the scriptures that, and we also believe, many of Indians, we believe that ancient times the women, they were not given so much importance. They were treated as slaves, right, in India. Not true at all. Women, they accepted that role as a servant to serve the family members willingly, intentionally, after their own will. That role was not forced upon them. So there is difference between servitorship and slavery. So they accepted the role of servitorship. They would enjoy serving the family members, but these kind of things were not imposed upon them. So they were not slaves. So Kekai, her importance was so much because she was like a warrior. So King Dasharath would take her when he would go to wage a war. And there, once, as you know, during the war, the nail of that on wheel came out. So Kekai put her finger so that the wheel doesn't go off the chariot, and King Dasharath does not fall off. So later on, when King Dasharath won the war, when they went back to the palace, when he saw Kaikai's finger was so much damaged, so he was so impressed. When Kaikai told her what happened, at that time he told her that asked for two vardhans, two boons. So she said, whenever there is time. So now see, if she wanted her son, real son Bharat, to become the king, King Dasharath would not have said no. Even Lord Ramachandra also would not have said no. But then why this particular kind of vardhan that Lord Ramachandra should go to the forest for 14 years?
Because Bharat could not allow that, no? Bharat could not allow that he becomes the king and not Ram.
Yes. But why 14 years? Huh? People? Of course, they would reward, and they objected also. See, because Ravana and Kumbhakarna, they created so much havoc. They were torturing people, creatures of all the 14 lokas. There are 14 lokas, right? Earth planet is the seventh loka, 6 lokas above, 7 lokas. Even in the lower lokas also, people were so much kind of affected by their torture. So to liberate the creatures living in all the 14 lokas, that number she chose, 14. One of the reasons. And of course, when they went to the forest, King Dashrath sent his friend and charioteer Sumanta with Lord Ramchandra, Mother Sita, and Lakshman. He told Sumanta, you take them out from the territory of Ayodhya and let them stay for 14 days and bring them back after 14 days. Because in some critical situations, special situations, 1 day can be considered as 1 year. So when they spent 14 days outside the territory of Ayodhya, that means they went for exile, right? After 14 days, you bring them back. So Suman did that. He followed the instructions. Now, here a very interesting point. After 14 days, when King Sumanta told Lord Ramachandra, Mother Sita, and Lakshman to go back to Ayodhya, Lord Ramachandra asked him why. He said, because in special situations, 1 day is considered as 1 year. So 14 days have passed, that means 14 years already gone. Lord Ramachandra said no. Now see, Lord Ramachandra is known as the obedient son, right? So Sumanta told him, these are the instructions of your father. He told me to do this. Bring you back after 14 days. Lord Ramachandra refused. So why did he refuse? Why did he obey? Being an obedient son, Ahilya's son, he disobeyed his father's instructions. And that also from his uncle, by his father's friend, charioteer. Why did he do that?
Perhaps he thought his father's command was coming from a place of attachment.
Yes. Two things. He said, the promises which were made to Kaikai, my stepmother, was by a king. So, following his instructions, king's instructions, I had to go for 14 years. Now, what you are telling me, as Punam very rightly said, is because these instructions are based on the emotions of a father. So, father's instructions are not superior to the instructions of the king. Raj Dharma is more than the Putra Dharma or Pitru Dharma. So, I'll follow that. Someone was crying so much. He said, you know what to do with you people. Everybody is so stubborn in your family. Then he had to go with the empty chariot. Another point I had in mind to discuss, when in the forest, Mother Sita saw the golden deer, right? Then he told Lord Ramachandra to capture him. She did not ask him to kill him. She said, capture him so that I can take as a gift for my mothers-in-law. Give them as a gift from the forest. Now, first of all, there is no such thing as, no animal as golden deer, right? Lord Ramachandra knew everything, but still he followed what Mother Sita said, right? Now, this also it is said, at that time, when they were in the forest, till that time, when this incident happened, every day Lakshman would collect the flowers from the forest, Mother Sita would make the garland, and she would put the garland for Lord Ramachandra. On that day, things changed. Lord Ramachandra put the garland around Mother Sita's neck, told her, now your active role is starting from today. So far, I was playing the role, meeting the sages, protecting the sages, Savan and all that. Now, your role is going to start today. So that time he invoked Agni Dev, he invited Agni Dev and told, you hide the actual Sita, and the reflection of Sita was manifested at that time. So the Sita, the form of Sita, which was kidnapped by Ravana, was not original Sita. How many of you knew that before? You knew that, right?
But there's a lot of controversy around this, right?
Such as?
You just say like, if you actually read Valmiki Ramayana, it's not written in that list. So there are different, like there's Ramchandra and Madhava, so there are different versions of the Ramayana. The Valmiki Ramayana is considered the golden textbook. This is not written there.
Yes. See, now here a very interesting point you raised. Tulsidas is incarnation of Valmiki. So at that time, Valmiki, whatever Ramayana he wrote, incidents he wrote, those incidents happened at that time. So this Leela, what is mentioned, that Agni Dev was asked. So it might have happened in another Kalpa, another day of Lord Brahma, during the Treta Yuga. But we cannot dismiss because it is not mentioned. Like, there are many incidents which are not mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, but they are mentioned in Vishnu Puran, Padma Puran. So we need to take them in a collective way, not in the isolated way. And that's the reason after Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana, Mother Sita had to go through the fire. So that the original fire, Mother Sita comes from the fire, Agni Dev gives the original Sita, and the Maya Sita goes into the fire. So that was the reason. It was not that Lord Ramachandra did not trust the chastity of Mother Sita, that's why he wanted to do Agni Pariksha. Not at all like that. There was no reason of any mistrust between both of them. No reason.
That was why there was a big controversy about that whole going into the fire, right? Like, that's why she had to go away, right? There was a part where it says that Lord Sita moved to the forest after that, right? Because,
Yeah, the washerman, because he saw it. So that also, the reason it is said, in those days it was not the king would rule in the kingdom based on majority of votes. It was not like what we call it, democracy. It was the principle of totality. All citizens should be in the favor of the king. Then only that king can rule. Even one person would be against the king, then king had to follow what the person is saying. If he doesn't follow, that means he was not suitable. He was not considered as a suitable to become the king. So because of that, it happened, and it was part of Leela also, because the mission was completed, accomplished, right? So Sita had to go. Everybody had to leave. So they had to find some reason to leave. So yeah, coming back to this part, 14 years of because of that, and then Mother Sita was changed. Agni Dev hid the original Sita. These two demons and their whole clan who were creating problems in all the 14 lokas. So these are the main two demons who are creating problems for the creatures in all the 14 lokas.
but why 14 years?
Yeah, could be.
You know?
I'm focusing on the 14, the number 14. Yes.
That's why I'm asking. Like, is it because it was like, you know,
Yeah. So there are, see, the sequence of the incidents, if you read, whether it is Valmiki Ramayana or Tulsi Ramcharitmanas, almost 13 months, 13 years, not 13 months, 13 years they spent in uh, Chitrakoot, Dandakarni forest, almost 13 years. Only last period when they went to Panchavati, after that all these things started. So now that much period, 13 or 13 number also generally, according to Chinese feng shui, they don't consider it as auspicious, even in the Western calendar also. But according to the Bhagavatam, number 13 is considered as very auspicious. There are very 13 very beautiful prayers offered by Srimati Radharani to Krishna, 13 prayers, 13 shlokas. So there is significance of 13. So 13 years they spent in Chitrakoot, Dandakarni forest. During the last period of the exile, when they went to Panchavati, in Panchavati also, initial part, there is very beautiful conversation between Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman. Pancha means what? 5, right? And Vati means what you different context, like if we see the banyan tree, it has the branches going towards the ground. So there were many banyan trees which had 5 such kind of branches, and 5 Christians were put forward by Lakshman in front of Lord Ramachandra, and from that Lakshman Gita started. So number 5, Panchavati. So yeah, that also is very interesting point you mentioned about why 14 is, why not 14 months, why not 14 weeks, right? So yeah, coming back to that part, Agni Dev hid Mother Sita. Now because she was not original Sita, she was Maya Sita. She was immediately attracted by Maya. The golden deer was not an original deer. Who was he originally?
Rakshas,
Yeah, Ravana's uncle, Marichi, right? So Ravana went to him. Now, why did Ravana had to go and ask him to do this? What happened before that, if anybody knows?
the sister, right?
Yes, sister Shurpanka came.
Shurpanka. Shurpanka, when she was roaming around, she left the palace of her brother Ravana. Ravana told her to go and find anyone who you like and you want to get married, then we'll arrange the wedding ceremony. With that desire of getting married, she left. She was roaming around. So when she went to this Panchavati, she arrived at Panchavati, she saw Lord Ramachandra. She was so attracted towards him. So she approached him and he refused. He said, no, I'm married. My wife is there. But you can approach my younger brother who is single. Now, did Lord Ramachandra lie? Yes or no?
He was single at the moment, but his wife was in the palace.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Yes. Kumar. He's Kumar. Sindhi we say Kumar, right? So he did not lie. At that time he was Kumar, right? So she went there and he also refused. He said, I am a servant. If you get married to me, you have to serve both of them. Would you like to do that? So they were in like, humorous form, teasing. Then she came to her original form, demoness. So now see, when she came in her original form, she went and attacked Mother Sita. She thought this is the obstacle. Both brothers are refusing to get married to me because of her. So I should kill her. Now immediately Lord Ramachandra told Lakshman to cut her nose and ears. He did not ask him to cut her arms. Normally attacking means with arms, right? To killing. Why didn't he ask him to cut her arms? Why nose and ears? Any guess? See, when we see these incidents, Lord never does anything impulsively, whimsically. There's some reason behind it. He's the most logical person. So what was the reason? What was the logic behind? To cut her nose and ears.
Because she thought she was beautiful, so that was to destroy her beauty.
No, in the real form, she was so horrible. Demoness form. Nose represents our self-respect, our pride, right? So Lord Ramachandra saw that both brothers we rejected her. She doesn't have so much self-respect, so she doesn't deserve to have her nose, and she's not listening. Both of us said no. She's not listening. So cut her ears. So because of that, nose and ears, not her arms. And then she became more horrified. And when she went to her other brothers. Khar and Dushan was staying nearby in the forest and told them what happened. So it is said 14,000 soldiers they had, Khar and Dushan, Ravana's brothers. All these 14,000, they attacked Lord Ramachandra. Single-handedly, Lord Ramachandra killed all of them. Single-handedly. So after that she went to Lanka and told Ravana what happened. So now, see here, we need to see demoniac mentality. Ravana heard only her story. He did not ask her what happened. What was the reason that he cut your nose and ears? Without listening to that, just whimsically, he decided, I want to kill them also, who insulted my sister like that. So then he went to Marichi. He planned that. He had that conspiracy that I'll kidnap her first. I'll marry her first. So Marichi, when he went, Marichi told him first, don't do this. You'll get killed. Now, why Ravana refused Marichi? Because when Shurpanka went to Ravana and told him that your brothers Khar and Dushan with 14,000 soldiers got killed, Ramachandra killed them single-handedly. Now, Ravana knew very well that Khar Dushan also was like almost powerful, as powerful as Ravana. So he thought that they had the boon that these brothers cannot be killed by ordinary people. Lord Vishnu's incarnation can kill them. So Ravana thought, that now I think that Lord Ramachandra is none other than Lord Vishnu himself. And he said, I am in the demon form. After knowing also he is Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, I cannot develop that devotion towards him. I cannot make an arti plate and go and offer the arti to him. I should present myself as his enemy. And when he kills me, I'll get liberated. Because Ravana also was very well versed with the Vedas. He was a great Pandit. You know this incident, once Mother Parvati asked, complaining like Lord Shiva, your devotees are flourishing so much, they are prospering so much. They are having big houses, big palaces, and you are making me stay under the banyan tree. I cannot protect myself from the rain and sunshine, strong sunshine. What kind of life is this? Why can't you give a palace to me also? Lord Shiva said, okay. Then Lord Shiva's disciple, Kubera, he told him to construct a city where all the palaces are made of gold and the gems and precious stones are studded in the pillars. So he created Golden Lanka. So now for Graha Pravesh, he wanted to have a priest. So Lord Shiva invited Ravana to do the Graha Pravesh Yagna. So Ravana did the Yagna. After that, Lord Shiva asked him, what do you want as Dakshina? He said, I want Lanka. So Lord Shiva said, back to square one, back to the tree. Now Lanka, we have to give to Ravana. We cannot say no to Brahmana. So that was just a part of that incident. It is mentioned in Shiv Purana. So coming back to this part, so Ravana was a well-versed Pandit. He knew Vedas by heart.
I've always been confused. Because Ravana was born to also a saint, right? From what I know. So what does it mean by he's born there? Because obviously, they portray demons to be ugly and very not great looking. Is that really the case? Because they might not be the case. Because Ravana himself was born of a saint. So there's not a different category of people that they are, right? So why do we categorize them like that? I feel it's a bit unfair.
Categorize in the what?
Like they're demonic now. They were just bad human beings. I think they were.
Yeah, see the whole background. If we see, they were cursed by the Kumaras, right? To be born as demons. Yes, of course, in the originally human form, but demons. In the previous birth, also these two brothers, Jay and Vijay, they became Raman and Kumbhakarna, right? In the previous birth, they were Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. They also were the sons of great sage Kashyapa Muni.
They were also part of Vaikunt, right?
Vaikunt, yes. They were part of Vaikunt.
Yeah.
But because they were cursed to take 3 births as demons, as enemies, they were given 2 options: 7 births as devotees and 3 births as enemies. So they did not want to spend too much time in the material world. They wanted to finish their business, go back to their original position and serve the Lord. So they said 3 births enough. And that's why they became the inimical demons. So this is the background, the reason why they became demoniac, why they came as demons. Only demons could, have that enmity towards Lord Vishnu. Otherwise, they were great devotees of Lord Shiva, Brahma. They got boons from them, both of them. Ravana composed what they call it? Huh? Shiva Sutram, right? Rudra Sutram. So he was a great scholar, Sanskrit scholar. But the consciousness was very demoniac. And this also, clarification, he never touched Mother Sita. When he kidnapped Mother Sita, the whole piece of land was separated from the earth. And that flew because of his yogic power. He never touched Mother Sita. He kept her in Ashok Vatika. Now, why that particular Vatika, that particular garden of Ashoka trees? What is the meaning of Ashok? Shok means happy, grief.
Yeah, so
Without grief, right? So because he thought, that she will be away from her husband for so long, she should not be so much affected by the grief. So kept her in the Ashok Vatika. Because the tree has a potency also. That if somebody sits under that tree, the energy which is released from that tree, that makes the person feel very happy. So that was Ravana's calculation. Of course, he did not know that Mother Sita is completely in different category.
But if he had that thought process, why would he kidnap her to begin with?
Sorry?
If he felt that
whilst he was doing that action, he did tell her, right? It's written in the Ramayana, right? That he told her, like, you become my wife. And she said no, right? So
Yeah.
you're saying that he kept her there because he was calculating that she should have greed, but she was having greed because he kidnapped
Very,
her.
very good point. See, now he persuaded her many times to become
His wife.
his wife. Now, a person, man like Ravana, demon like Ravana also knew the limit. He said, without the consent of a woman, I cannot touch her. And without officially getting married, I cannot have physical relationship with her. And he knew very well that Sita is not going to agree. And that's why he never touched her. Of course, there was another reason also. Ravana was cursed by Kuvera, that if he touches any woman without the consent of the woman, his body will be blown off. He will be completely broken into pieces.
What I'm trying to ask is that whilst he was doing these actions, right? Whilst he did all these actions because of his sister, he did them in the mindset of a negative force, right? He was learned, but he got, isn't it almost like, even though he was very learned, all these so called negative vices made him do certain things to teach us a lesson that no matter how learned you are, like he was so learned that he got the boons and so
Yes,
many,
yes, yes.
but yet he committed such,
Yeah, I understand.
adharmic.
So what do we learn from his incident? What do we learn from Ravana?
We learn, right, that no matter how, like, vices can really pull you into doing very,
The ego.
yeah,
No matter how learned the person is, if the person is not able to capture his ego, then these vices will easily attack him.
yeah.
Then he will not be able to capture these vices. He will give in to these vices. Now, fast forward coming to this point, Ravana did that because he knew that Lord Ramchandra is incarnation of Lord Vishnu. See, there is another kind of exhibit of his ego. When Brahma was pleased by Ravana and Kumbhakarna when they did tapasya, so Ravana said that, bless me that nobody who is created by you can kill me except human beings and monkeys. Because he was so confident that human beings and monkeys cannot harm him at all. That's why he said demigods cannot kill. Now see, when Lord Ramachandra, this is not mentioned in the Ramayana, but in other scriptures, when Lord Ramachandra was sent to forest by Mother Kaikeyi, Shani Sade Sati started. Shani Devs. Now Lord Ramachandra's Rashi and Ravana's Rashi same. Tula Rashi. Ra, right? So Shani Sade Sati started for Ravana also. But did not affect Ravana at all at that time. Because Shani was captured by Ravana. All the demigods were captured by Ravana. They were so afraid of him. Shani Dev also was very afraid of him. It is said that Shani Dev was tied up with the leg of a bed in the prison house of Ravana. So Shani Dev was also surrendered. Could not harm him. When Hanuman went there, Hanuman released Shani Dev. And that's why Shani Dev was so pleased with him. And then he told him, that whoever worships you, I will not affect him so badly. Yeah, so that was a kind of a agreement between Shanidev and Hanumanji. So coming back to that point, because Ravana's ahankar, after that, when they went back to Ayodhya, when Mother Kaushalya asked Lord Ramachandra, तुमने रावण को मारा? Ramachandra said, मैंने रावण को नहीं मारा, मैंने रावण को मारा. What's the difference?
Ego.
Ravana's ego killed him, not me. Very interesting point before we conclude. I want to mention about Lord Ramachandra, to glorify Lord Ramachandra. You know, when Vibhishan surrendered, when he was thrown out of the palace by Ravana, when he surrendered, he came to the Rameshwaram. So Lord Ramachandra did the coronation ceremony for himself, for him, right? He appointed him as the next king of Lanka because he was so sure, Ramachandra was so sure that he will kill Ravana. At that time, Sugriva asked him, what if at this moment Ravana surrenders to you? And you, as a Kshatriya, if anyone surrenders to you, you will not kill him, right? Lord Ramachandra said yes. Then he said that now you promise Vibhishan to become the king of Lanka. So what will happen? So Lord Ramachandra said that Vibhishan's promise, what I made to him, he'll become the king of Lanka. Ravana will become the king of Ayodhya. I'll give him Ayodhya's kingdom. Then Sugriva asked him, what about Bharat? Bharat also is there. Now he's the king, right? In your absence. So Lord Ramachandra said, I will give him the kingdom of Vaikuntha. So then Sugriva asked him, then what about you? What will happen to you? He said, I will serve all three of them. I'll become their servant. This is Ramachandra. When they were going in the forest, normally the sequence was Lord Ramachandra would walk in front, after that Mother Sita, and after that Lakshman. Some places, Mother Sita would push Lord Ramachandra aside and she would walk in front. So Lakshman was a bit confused. Then he asked Mother Sita, why are you doing this? You are a Pativrata, epitome of chastity and all. She said, you don't know your brother. You know, because we are walking in the forest, there are so many thorns. So when the thorns, they hit his feet, they walk into his feet, he does not take them out because he said, they are surrendering to me. How can I reject them? Though his feet start bleeding. So I'm clearing the path for him so that, his feet are saved because his feet are so soft. That is the compassion of Lord Ramachandra. Even the thorns, he will not reject them. So much contradictory between Lord Ramachandra and Krishna.
The avatar was different, right? The purpose of the avatar.
Yes, yes. The Leela was different. Objective was different. Mission was different.
One question. That Kumbhakarna is also, he was, he was also a demon and he was also troubling people. But how? Because half of the time he was sleeping. So how come?
Yeah, so.
6 months he sleeps and then 1
But
day
whenever he would wake up, whenever Ravana could not handle his enemy, in rare cases, he would ask Kumbhakarna to help him.
just like in that war he came.
So when he wanted to fight with Lord Ramachandra also, Ravana sent people to wake him up, no? Halfway. At the time of when they were doing tapasya, so Ravana asked for this boon. So when it came time for Kumbhakarna to ask, now he was looking for Indrasana. He wanted. So demigods, being mind readers, they knew what he's going to ask. So they prayed to Mother Saraswati. Mother Saraswati twisted his tongue. Instead of Indrasana, he said Nidrasana. So sleep. Most of the time, sleep.
Most of the time he was sleeping.
Yeah. But he was it is said, he was actually more powerful than Ravana. Elder brother, more powerful than Ravana.
He was so big, tall, huge.
All demons were like that. All demons. And they had that ability to increase the size of their body. Yeah. What's the time now?
24.
See, now the scripture is very, very vast. So when another opportunity comes, we'll speak more about this. But this is very beautiful when we read Ramayan. The feeling is quite different, very, very different, very peaceful. Though there is war and all that, but the outcome is calming. Huh?
That can be our next.
Yes.
After we finish the Bhagavatam.
Yes. Who knows, that see the way we are going with the Bhagavatam. Next year during Ramanavami, we still may be having the Bhagavatam story in between.
Yeah.
We put Ramayan. Krishna willing. Krishna willing. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Ram.